What's Trenkov?
You never heard of Trenkov?
No.
It's when you inject typically trenbolone acetate. You feel it coming on, and all you can do is really like brace yourself, and then you start hacking up a lung for about a few minutes.
Whoa.
There's no moment more
Regretful?
yeah, where it's like
Post-trend clarity.
yeah, you're just like bracing the sink, knowing you're about to get f***ed up by some cough that you self-induced by your hormone use, and you're like, God damn it.
Are you aware of the Bulgarian weightlifting team, like of the past?
Not really.
Have you heard?
If I saw it, maybe.
Have you heard of like Bulgarian training?
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a very infamous, if you will, coach. His name's Ivan Abadjiev. He basically created this system that was the hardest weightlifting system possible. 8 hours a day. You max out 3 to 4 times a day. Sometimes they were maxing out, like I've heard, 6 to 9 times a day.
Jeez.
What they do is they have a session. The session, I think, is like 2.5 to 3 hours long. And they work up to maximal lifts, and then they rest 30 minutes. Work up to maximal lifts, rest 30 minutes, work up to maximal lifts. And then that's session 1. And then they do that 3 times a day. And they have Sundays off. I could be a little bit off on that, but that's it. And it's snatch, clean and jerk, front squat usually. Sometimes they pull. Max Ada, who was like one of my mentors in the past, he actually went and trained with Abadjiev because he just wanted to do it. Abadjiev was in America.
Yeah.
He tried to like recreate that here in the States, and it just did not work out, mainly because the drug use was... It's a different game now than it was in the 70s. And there is a story here from a guy who was a weightlifter on the 1970s Bulgarian team that is absolutely crazy. And I want to read it to you. I actually also want to show you a big documentary called School of Champions. Yeah, so you can see it's like this old school 70s training thing. And it's like this documentary. And over it, here's Abadjiev. That's the coach. And you just see these guys getting hammered by him. Like absolutely destroyed. And then he sits there. Like you see so many missed lifts in this documentary. And then you see him kind of like scolding them. And then there's a bunch of parts where like they're just sitting down and talking. Like he's just preaching to them. It's very strange, man. Like basically he just created this system where he's going to beat the shit out of these guys all day, every day. And then when they get to competition, things are going to be easier. So this is an excerpt from one of those guys. His name was Valentin Hristov. And I think there's a younger Valentin Hristov, but this one's from the 70s. So at 15 years old, he snatched 130 and clean and jerked 160. It's very, very good. And then that's what he was selected. That's when Abadjiev said, okay, I'm going to work with you now. So then Abadjiev killed him, just murdered him with typical Bulgarian training. At 18 years old, he did 162.5 and 200, which is very good for a natural 18-year-old. Like that's very solid. That at 100 kilos body weight. And he maintains that he never, he was completely clean up to that point. Which is crazy. If that's true, that's very, very good. That's like elite. There have been Americans, there have been other people that have done that at 18 years old. So it's not unheard of. There are people who I believe are natural that have done that. But this is when Abadjiev said, "All right, let's take drugs. We want you to be at 110 kilos body weight in 2 months for the European Championships." In Verona. I don't know where Verona is. Do you know Italy?
I don't want to guess.
Okay. Shit, I'm going to look like an idiot. So anyways, with his first use of steroids and much stuffing at the training table, Hristov managed to quickly boost his weight and weighed at Verona at 108.2 kilos. And he snatched 165.5 and clean and jerked 220. Jesus. That was 2 months after he did this, 162.5 and 200. Damn. So 2 months later.
Yeah.
Okay. Then people started to get scared of doping in like the mid 70s. They were like, okay, we got to like ease up a little bit. He decided to go to a competition 70 days clean or some crazy, like he decided to stop taking drugs and he lifted horribly. So then he made the decision for the Olympics coming up in Montreal, like, let's fucking go hard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's the fucking protocol. You ready for this shit?
Yep.
Okay, Abadjiev was giving each lifter 180 Dianabol tablets of 5 milligrams per week. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday were 40 pill days, and Tuesday and Thursday and Saturday were 20 pill days. They were also being injected with the steroid Ritabolil. What's that? What's Ritabolil?
It's probably maybe a brand name for the...
I think it's got to be Deca, right?
Put in Wikipedia, it'll pop up what the actual compound is probably.
Right.
Okay, so it's like just like a branded version of it, of Nandrolone.
Okay. So...
Decadebol, classic.
Yeah, Deca. But we'll talk about the dosage in a second. Ristov notes that his urine started turning brown, and he was passing out often during training. He started seeing stars. So they're even more scared before they go to Montreal now.
Yeah.
They're like, we don't want to get popped. So everyone starts to taper off the drug use. Montreal starts going horribly. He hasn't showed up yet.
Yeah.
The lightweights go, then the heavyweights go. They usually, when you go to Olympic like training centers or like to train for the Olympics or train for Worlds, you get there like 2-3 weeks before to like get ready, and they train really hard, dude. The training halls at these places are amazing because they go fucking hard. And it was going horribly. The lightweights are doing bad. So in typical Abadjiev fashion, he brings the team together, and it's another one of his fucking speeches, like you see in the documentary. And he's like, "Look, I had to start giving you guys steroids because this is what the Russians did to be successful. It is impossible to not be successful in this sport without steroids. However, the Russians have access to amphetamines that we don't have access to, so it sucks for us. Let me introduce you guys to the magician." Okay.
Did it say the Deca dose or just the Debo dose?
I don't know what the Deca dose is. I gotta find. I maybe I'll be able to find it. So those lifters who had not yet competed would go back on the steroid use, but with the aid of the magician and his catheter. He would empty their bladder. They would empty their bladders before being tested and have it replaced with clean urine by the magician before they had to submit a sample. They said they were going to select one athlete from your team and they were going to test you 2 days out from competition. Or they said they were going to select you and you were going to piss on competition day or something like that. Hristov was the guy selected. That's why this story is amazing, because this is from his account, and he like ultimately is incredibly depressed. I think he probably passed away now, but he's like not happy about how this whole shit went down.
Yeah, and his hormones are probably all over the fucking place for...
Dude, they said he had like a boil on his knee. He was stressed. His brain started changing, like his chemistry. He was turning into a different human being. So he said he was selected and he opted for the catheter instead of dropping out. He said, "Christ, was this what I banged away so hard for almost 6 years and for 8 hours a day?" Abadjiev gave him then... Once he decided he was going to do the catheter, Abadjiev gave him 200 tablets of 5 milligrams each for July 24th and July 25th. Another 150 pills for the 26th, the day of his competition.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, so then he wins his gold medal. He goes home. He gets a new Volga automobile like upon returning. And then he gets a notification, you know, I don't know how they figure out, but we found trace amounts of steroids in your urine. It wasn't clean, fully clean piss, or it wasn't able to like, you couldn't get all of your piss out of your bladder. It's not possible, I guess. Yeah. But what do you think of that whole story, dude? This is the Bulgarian team. Like, this is why I want to bring it up, because this shit, like, no one's...
I want to, like, pull out a calculator and even see what that was.
That's
fucking
yeah.
mind-blowing.
Let's go over the numbers here.
Let's see. So you said 200.
So, like, the initial dose to, like, absolutely go fucking crazy leading up to the Olympics was 180 Dianabol pills at 5 milligrams.
Right. So 900 milligrams per week, right?
Yep. How is that? What's that?
Over 128.57 milligrams per day if you were taking it evenly, but I know they, like...
They staggered up and down. They did... 50.
But yeah, that's, like...
Is that huge?
Yeah, that's huge.
Like, tell me how, what's the...
Like, for context, to get pretty good results, you would take something like 20 to 30 milligrams, and then at most, you might take like 40 to 50 per day. And that would be like...
And they were taking what?
128 per day. Well, on some days, probably like 200, and then some days a bit... But yeah, overall.
Okay, so then... After having, so he had to taper off longer because he's a heavyweight.
That's an example of just like again, obviously I wouldn't expect somebody in the 70s to be educated. Like there was no information.
But it's also, that's Abadjiev, the guy. Like his training matches his fucking drug use.
But the interesting thing though is when you're looking at the dose clinically for muscle wasting or what it's actually prescribed for at that time, it's kind of, I'm just wondering what the justification is to be like, you know what, they're prescribing 5 milligrams or 2.5 to 5 milligrams for, I think it was used for HRT for a while, Dianabol. In men, it was like 2.5 milligrams or something would be like therapeutic TRT. Mm-hmm. So let's, fucking 10x it essentially, or 100x it.
So if this will maybe make more sense, Max Ada, like I said, my mentor who trained with Abadjiev in the States, he was saying like, you know what, let me just explain to you what the Bulgarian system is. There's a door right there. What we're going to do is we're going to bash our fucking head against the wall until it opens up instead of taking the door.
Jesus.
Like, this is what we do. I don't care.
Yeah.
We're going to sacrifice everything, our lives. This is us. 8 hours a day training, 6 days a week for 6-8 years. Right? And you can watch this documentary, man. Like, just sit down and watch it one day, and you'll be like, none of this looks fun.
Yeah.
There's not one smile in the entire thing. They're all just like dying. Mm-hmm. And he's feeding them copious amounts of drugs. So I think the drug use goes in line with the system.
Right? Oh, yeah, for sure. That's like full board kitchen sink. Well, I don't know how much works, so let's just 10x the dose.
And then, okay, so like I said, he had to taper off. Mm-hmm. I don't know how many days out. I think it was like 20 days out. Whereas the lighter guys only had to taper off like 13 days out. I don't know what their calculations were. They had all these like crazy like doctors running around and shit. It's kind of cool actually. Like, there's all these characters and stuff. And when they realized, hey, we're doing horribly, like we got to do something here. Yeah, we're gonna do the catheter trick. When they said that, they're like, okay, well, quickly, we got to jack you back up with all fucking Dianabol we can. So he gives him. And probably might want to bring out the calculator again. 200 tablets of 5 milligrams for the 24th and the 25th.
So 1,000 milligrams. You said 200.
So 200 times 5 for each day.
Yeah, so 3 days you said?
And then 150 on the third day.
Right.
So 1,000, and then what's 150 times 5?
750.
Yeah. 1,750 in 3 days.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's fucking way overkill. For sure.
Yeah.
That's absurd.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
For context, if you took even like 40, 50 milligrams Dianabol, I'm sure the people watching can attest to the ruthless lower back pumps, the water retention, high blood pressure changes. Like once you get to this like 50 milligrams plus, you're just like Michelin Man territory if you're eating enough food to be conducive to like growing huge amounts of size and getting as strong as fuck. And it's just like so much waterlogged. Like you literally turn into the Michelin Man. And after doing a set of even the worst blast I ever did that was just irresponsible with Deca D-ball involved, I firmly remember having to like go sit in a massage chair in the gym after just like a couple sets of deadlifts because your lower back is just like so fucking pumped you can't even stand. You're like lying on a bench, hyperextending your back,
trying to relax.
Yeah, like it's hard to describe like even what it feels like. It's not like your kidneys are being damaged really. It's just like you have this I don't know, it's just like this taxation of your lower back and it just feels like pumped and then it's just like unbearable and you have to just go lie down until it goes away.
There's got to be like a moment for like drug use where you feel like I can't even be a human being anymore. Like how, like if I can't walk around or even lay down comfortably. Like,
no, it's like when if you took Tren and you get Tren cough, it's like the most like,
Tren cough? Huh? What's Tren cough?
You never heard of Tren cough?
No.
It's when you inject typically trenbolone acetate. If some people don't get it, some people get it. A lot of people get it. And occasionally you will have like a reaction. People think it's like a prostaglandin reaction whereby your body essentially is trying to like reject the drug by coughing vigorously. And you just end up injecting it. You feel it coming on, and all you can do is really like brace yourself, and then you start hacking up a lung for about a few minutes.
Whoa.
Yeah, and there's no moment more, I don't know, like
regretful.
Yeah, where it's like, for example, if you watched some fucked up porn and you busted a nut, right after you feel like shame.
You're like,
you're like, what am I doing? I'm disgusting. Like, I'm a fucking terrible person.
Yeah.
Like,
trend cough.
Yeah. What am I doing?
Post-nut clarity.
Exactly.
Post-trend clarity.
Yeah. You're just like bracing the sink, knowing you're about to get fucked up by some cough that you self-induced by your hormone use. And you're like, God damn it. And you're just looking at yourself in shame as you hack up a lung. And
dude.
Yeah. It's rough. It's rough.
Thank you very much for tuning in. If you enjoyed that, press here for the full-length episode.